Namaste my dear friends. Like or unlike terms. Let us see the definition and its properties of a term. The term is either a numeric term or algebraic term. Examples of numeric terms are 5, -3, 5 on 7, 0.25 etc. These are constants, which means a fixed value. Note, all constants are like terms. Algebraic term is a product of numerical coefficient and literal coefficient. Here, 5x and 5 on 7 p square q are examples of algebraic terms. Here, 5 and 5 on 7 are numerical coefficients, and x and p square q are the literal coefficients. Because x in the first term and p and q in the second term are variables. Note, if we have one or more than one variable in the selected terms, we call such terms as algebraic terms. So, 5x and 5 on 7 p square q are algebraic terms. Another important point is power. An expression that represents repeated multiplication of the same factor is called power. Let us take some examples. Here, a is repeated 3 times, so we write it as a raised to the power of 3, or a cube. A is a base, 3 is an exponent, and a cube is power. Another example, here, b does not repeat more than 1 time. So, we write it as b raised to the power of 1, or b. Here, b is a base, 1 is an exponent, and b raised to the power of 1 is power. In the view of algebra, a and b are variables, and 3 and 1 are exponents. Note, if the exponent of a variable is nothing, by default, we take 1. Let us take 5xy and -2xy. As we know, numeric terms are like, so in algebraic terms, numerical coefficients are like. So, we ignore 5 and -2. To find the given algebraic terms are like or unlike, we check the literal coefficients only. That is, we check variables and their exponents. Here, the variable x and its exponent are the same in the 2 terms. Similarly, check the remaining variables and their exponents. Another variable y and its exponent are the same in the 2 terms. So the given 2 terms are like. Note, if the exponent of any variable is nothing, by default we take 1 only. Let us take 5p cube q square, and -2 on 3p cube q. Ignore the numerical coefficient, that is, 5 and -2 on 3. Observe the literal coefficients. Here the first variable and its exponent, that is, the variable is p, and the exponent is 3 are the same. So, we check the next variable, q. Here, the variable in the 2 terms are the same, but the exponents in the 2 terms are different. So, the given 2 terms are unlike. Let us take -p square, q, and -3 on 5, q, p square. The numeric coefficient of the first term is 1. According to the multiplicative identity, the product of anything and 1 is the same. That is, the product of -p square, q, and 1 is -p square, q, or vice versa. Note, according to the multiplicative identity, if the numeric coefficient of any term is not mentioned, by default we take 1. Another important point here is, observe the literal coefficient of the second term. Here the variables are not in alphabetical order. So, write the variables in alphabetical order. Because to get the result easily, it is not mandatory to write. It is just to avoid confusion while solving. Note, according to the commutative property under multiplication, the product of q, p square, and p square, q, are the same. So, write the variables in order. Now it is easy to find the given terms are like or unlike. As we know, ignore the numerical coefficients. Observe the variables and their exponents. P square and q are common in the 2 terms. So, The two terms are like terms. Summarize the concept of like or unlike terms. Let us take minus 7p square, q cube, and 2q square, p cube. Step 1. Write the variables and their exponents in alphabetical order, if those are not in order. According to the question, the second term variables are not in order, so we write them in alphabetical order. Note, it is not mandatory to write, but to get the result without any confusion. Step 2. Ignore the numerical coefficients in all terms. Step 3. Compare each variable and its exponent. Here, the variable p in the two terms are the same, but the exponent in the two terms are different. So, the condition is false. Step 4. It is clear that the condition in the step 3 is false, so the two terms are unlike. If you want more information about the content or anything related to the subject, please refer to the blogger and clarify your doubts. Thank you for watching the video, friends.